Mark Benson is the Director of Athletics at the University of Albany and joins us here on Big Board Sports. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Roger. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us here for a few minutes. And let's get right to the headline, and that is what's the ticket sales? Where do we stand right now with the game that's being hyped, and it doesn't need much more, UAlbany in North Carolina on Saturday night at Casey Stadium?
Yeah, well, speaking of those tickets, I just heard you talking about Mohawk Honda, where I was getting the oil change yesterday and delivering lacrosse tickets to Nick Bonarigo and the crew. So adding to that total yesterday for sure. But we're really excited to host North Carolina this weekend in the first round of the NCAAs. And the all-time record, in 2003, the NCAA expanded the field to 16 teams. And the record was 5,400, I believe, 79 tickets in attendance at the first round. We are currently have broken that record. We're sitting at 5,555 tickets sold and counting. So we're going to set a new record this year. We're really excited to all our fans in the Capital Region, alumni, folks in the community have kind of rallied around our program and rallied around this game. And our goal is to sell out Casey Stadium this Saturday, which capacity for lacrosse would be 6,500 tickets. So we're under 1,000 to go. Yeah,
because I should have put two and two together. Common sense would have got me the answer that you can't seat anybody on the berm, right, like you do for football.
Yeah, that lacrosse ball is moving pretty quickly, and it's not as soft as you might think. So there have been some folks that have suggested some names of people to put on that berm. But at UAlbany Athletics, we're all inclusive and safety first, so we're not going to put anyone in harm's way on that berm, despite the suggestions of others that there might be a select few that would be candidates for that.
Mark Benson with us, Director of Athletics at the University of Albany. It's a 7:30 game at Casey Stadium. Tickets are still available, but going very quickly. An expected sellout of 6,500. Are there students still around, Mark, or are they gone after their final exams?
No, students are still here. The exams will have started by this weekend, but the early part of it, so we're expecting a really strong student turnout. We have about 1,000 student tickets that will start that are already paid for, and we'll start distributing those on Saturday to our students. Notice has gone out on campus, so we're hopeful for a very robust student turnout that will equal what we've gotten from the community. And I have to say, we've got a couple games this year. You look at Maryland game, you look at Yale, where we've had over 3,000 in attendance. One day was at 4:00 in the afternoon, which could be challenging. The other, with the weather, was a little threatening, rained a little bit. So the community support's been fantastic. And when you mix that with our students, it's really a fun, exciting atmosphere. And the way we play the Great Dane lacrosse way is a lot of fun, I think, for student athletes to play. Maybe even more fun for fans to watch. And from what I'm told, UNC plays a very similar style of lacrosse. It should be a really fun day.
Hey, Mark, Chris Honorato up here with Roger as well. So you mentioned the 1,000 tickets that'll be, held aside for students. I'm guessing that's included in the 5,400. But I was curious yesterday, what is the allotment a team like North Carolina gets playing a road game in the first round of the NCAA tournament?
I don't have that exact number on what the NCAA holds, but there is a requirement. I know in each NCAA sport, the visiting team, whether it's at a neutral site, whether you're a neutral site visitor or in this case, the visiting team, there is allotment. I don't have that number in front of me. I'm actually in Binghamton right now, getting ready to support our Great Dane softball teams in the American East Championship. But I don't think it's too large a number. So the
overwhelming majority of the tickets obviously will be UAlbany fans.
Yeah, that's our hope.
Yeah,
the UAlbany fans dominate the crowd. I'm sure. I'm told that UNC travels well, and I know they have a local player from Niskayuna on their team. So I would anticipate that there'll be some Niski fans in there, and maybe a few UNC fans. But the vast majority, we hope, will be UAlbany fans.
We're talking with Mark Benson, Director of Athletics at the University of Albany. Mark, how about the program overall that Scott Marr has successfully built here. And what does, and this is almost like the next step here, such a big atmosphere, a big game, NCAA tournament, chance to make a run here at the Final Four and the national championship. But how about the job that Scott Marr has done and all the national exposure right now for the UAlbany men's lacrosse team?
Yeah, I really can't say enough about the great job that Coach Marr, Liam Gleason, Merrick Thompson, who both are played at UAlbany. What they've done with our lacrosse program is phenomenal. We've gone 5 consecutive years undefeated in the regular season in the America East, and beyond that, the region and the America East footprint is we've built lacrosse into a national brand. UAlbany, we have our own brand. It's very distinctive, coast to coast. I think in lacrosse circles, we're well known for the style of play. It's fun. It's up tempo, move the ball around, very creative shots. I'm kind of new to lacrosse, but when I think of, growing up as a basketball fan and watching, Magic Johnson play and the way he distributed the ball and that style of play, that's kind of what I think about in terms of UAlbany lacrosse. So just a fantastic job. And, I think what gets lost, Roger and Chris, sometimes in all the fun and the hoopla around our lacrosse program is these guys are great students. We just had our Great Band Awards banquet, and men's lacrosse was in the top 10 for cumulative GPAs in our program. If memory serves, about a 3.2 or a 3.3 GPA. So they're really getting it done in the classroom as well, and just great energy around the program, a lot of fun to be around.
And we should also throw in that the UA women are also in the NCAA tour. They got a Friday game against Northwestern at Stony Brook, another program that consistently wins.
Yeah, Coach Battolino and his staff and student athletes have done a great job. Stony Brook the last couple of years been our nemesis, have been right there keeping us away from the America East Championship. It was a 2-goal game this year. Last year, a heartbreaker. They scored a goal at the end to beat us. But this is the second time in 3 years where we made the NCAA tournament as an at-large team. So I think that really speaks volumes of the quality of our women's lacrosse team and the strength of the America East as a league. And so back at Stony Brook on campus playing Northwestern Friday night, if we can get by, if the right color purple in that game, UAlbany wins, we would more than likely have a chance to play Stony Brook again on Mother's Day on Sunday. And, it's awfully tough to beat, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but it is tough to beat a team 3 times. And, the Northwestern game will be a tough one for us to get. But what a great opportunity for both programs this weekend.
Mark, I'm not trying to go down a road of the NCAA and are they in the business of making money or whatever, but we wondered, what it would take for UAlbany to get a home game in the NCAA tournament. Their record and their resume, I believe, has warranted it in the past, and they haven't gotten it. But now you guys have one, and you're showing out with what's going to be a record number of attendance. I have to imagine, for as much as they say it won't, that has to play a role in the future. Like, hey, if we give UAlbany a home game, that will help grow the sport of lacrosse.
Yeah, I think, right off the bat, Chris, we're very appreciative to have a home game. It's a great honor and a great recognition for a really good season. And, I think, like anything, you're knocking at the door, you're right there on the verge of, having a home game. Last year, I think, we stumbled in the first round against Hartford. Had we won out, we probably are looking at a home game. This year, we took care of business. And as Coach Marr said in one of his post-game remarks, it's like there's a lot of talk about an at-large berth for this lacrosse team, but I don't want that. I want to hoist the trophy. I want to win the America East. So first and foremost, we took care of our business, and we gave the NCAA and the selection committee a chance to give us a top 8 seed. What they did, I certainly think the atmosphere around and energy around our program, once that is showcased Saturday night across the country from Casey Stadium, will hopefully make it, easier and easier for us if we're in the position to get a home game, and perhaps, have our seating maybe a little bit higher as well. But we're very, very happy to be in the top 8.
Mark, always a pleasure, man. You've done a great job since coming on board as the athletic director at UA, and look forward to the weekend, and we'll see you at Casey Stadium on Saturday.
Roger, Chris, appreciate it. And Roger, I noticed that you've been honing up on your lacrosse knowledge this season. I'm very impressed with the background work you've been doing, and I know you're a lacrosse future is bright as well. So appreciate all you guys do for us.
No problem, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks for calling in. That's Mark Benson,
right,
Director of Athletics at UA.